Hey everyone, welcome back to this series of 9 videos on improving all aspects of your study skills. Big shout out to the whole team at Crash Course and Thomas Frank especially for creating such an amazing video series so I can condense all of that wisdom onto this powerful mind map so you too can improve on your test anxiety right now. And for those who are new here, my name is Hugo. I'm a doctor and pharmacist in New Zealand, and I'm also a study coach at Study Smarter Academy. So in this particular video, we're going to talk about the most common causes of test anxiety and how you can try to use particular methods to see if it helps you if you are struggling with these particular fears. We've got lots to cover, so let's dive right into this. So before we even dive into these particular fears, I want to talk about this top left corner here, the particular pinpoint method. Meaning a lot of times when we are thinking that, we have this test anxiety and we have problems with trying to take these tests, we feel this massive fear inside. And a lot of times we can't really articulate what is going on. Like, what is the actual problem? What is the actual fear that we are facing? So this is where this pinpoint method is really good in terms of trying to nail down, like write down what is your actual fear. Like, are you fearing the consequences of exams? Are you fearing what your friends are going to think of you, or what your parents are going to do to you? What consequences you're going to have? And there are also scientific studies in the past showing that students who actually try to write down their fears just before the exams actually perform much better. Maybe it's a way for us to actually offload all of this anxiety onto a piece of paper that it's not going anywhere, but you have safely stored it somewhere else. So you've freed up space to actually focus, concentrate, and also have that knowledge to translate to meaningful sentences and phrases so you can do much better in your exams. So the first major fear that we're going to talk about is the fear of past failure. This really relates to those who actually spend a lot of time thinking and ruminating about what has happened in the past. And Thomas has said that in this video there is this negativity bias as well, meaning that we're tending to remember a lot more clearer about the negative things that have happened in the past. And when we continue to fixate on that, that actually develops a mindset or almost a belief that thing is going to happen yet again, and it becomes more ingrained. And then ironically, that actually increases of the chance that that particular fear or consequence is going to happen again. So in order to try and conquer that and actually break this loop, we want to try to use something called analyze and feedback method. Really just focusing on these two things. What we have done in the past, try to analyze it, try to learn from it. What have we done in the past that has led to that consequence, and what can we actually do to prevent that from happening? And the second part is actually feedback, actually asking people who have the same experiences that have overcome that, or the successful students, actually trying to seek help and actually ask them, hey, this has actually happened to me in the past. I'm planning to do this and that. Is that going to help? And for those who are actually successful, they actually won't look down on you, but instead they actually admire your courage to actually go up to them and ask for help. And a lot of them will be willing to help if you reach out and take that step forward to reach out for help. And a second subcategory in this particular fear of past failure is actually fearing what's going to happen in the future as well. So focusing too much either on the past or the future really doesn't really improve your chances of what you can able to try and improve right now, which is the sole focus of this method, is to try to be as present as possible, because it is actually your habits and your skills that you can build on right now that can prevent that past failure from happening again, and also prevent that future negative consequence happening to you. So the only thing that you can focus on doing is, if you catch yourself, right, I'm thinking about too much of my failures in the past, or I'm thinking about too much of these unknown factors that may or may not happen to me in the future, try to bring yourself to the present and go, what can I actually do now to reduce that chances of that past failure from happening again, or that negative projected future thing that's going to happen to me again. And then if you're really thinking a lot and you're still not able to nut down what it is, then maybe you have the fear too, which is the fear of unknown. And this is really encoded into us deeply as our evolution goes by. It's actually for our survival. For example, we've got these deep fears that are deeply encoded into us. For example, fear of loud noises and also fear of heights. These are really true fears because it helps us with our survival. But we need to bring a step back and go, okay, why is this exam causing me so much fear and anxiety? Is it because we haven't been exposed enough to these test environments? And if this is the case, then this is where the next method that can come in, which is the graduated exposure method. And taking an example of fear of public speaking, a graduated exposure method would look a little bit like this. For some people who rather die than to give a speech in front of 10 or 20 people, this might be something that they can try. Before even stepping foot up front in the classroom, you can even think about, just identifying a topic and then observing others' presentation. And then you can just practice this presentation alone, maybe in front of a mirror. And then if you're able to do this, then try to turn on the camera right now and try to record yourself. Watch yourself again. Is that really that bad? And then maybe you're actually comfortable around your your family or close friends. Maybe just try to give the speech in front of them. And then when you're able to do this, then you can graduate to practice with 2 or 3 friends. And then finally, you can try to present this in class. And then gradually, step by step, you probably find that it's actually not that bad. And by the time you finish giving presentation in class, you can even give it in front of your whole class level, or maybe even bigger audiences like in front of your school. So it's always this one step at a time. For example, then now talking about your exams, are you having enough practice under these exam environment? Are you able to organize these practice exam mock sessions within your own friend group? And then this leads on to fear number 3, which Thomas talks about, was the fear of the stakes. Literally, my life depends on this. And you actually have a lot of pressure on yourself. Now, I've had this time and time again, and I want to share with you my own journey as a high school student. I wanted to get into medicine straight away. That was really everything. I put myself under so much pressure in the exams in high school, and I was constantly stressed and frustrated because I wasn't doing well. My study system, my study efficiency just wasn't there to get those excellent grades. And now, relating back to my own high school self, like everything's on stake. If I don't get in, that is it. My life's going to be over. And then now, fast forward 10 plus years, I would tell myself this and use this particular method, which is the worst case scenario method. So for example, in high school, I wasn't getting those grades that was desired to get into medicine. And so what is the worst case scenario? I was getting those maybe B's and some C's as well. So my worst case scenario at that moment was that I got into an alternate degree. Maybe it's pharmacy. For me, it was pharmacy. Maybe it could have been another degree. And yes, I took a little bit longer to complete my journey, but looking back at this now, I really wouldn't want it another way, because I met so many awesome friends in pharmacy. I learned so much awesome knowledge that actually built my advantage to become a doctor. For example, when I went into medicine, I have a lot of medication knowledge and also this pharmacology knowledge that a lot of my doctor colleagues were actually jealous of. And I was like, this actually forms a really good basis, and it gives us a really good framework. For example, in medicine, we're really focused on the diagnostic process and all of these, but we don't talk a lot about the treatment and the actual medications that can be used. And it's not until my same colleagues that come out and work and struggle and go, oh my god, I actually have not seen so many of these medications. I don't know the doses, I don't know the side effects, I don't know the interactions between the medications. And sometimes I feel at ease because I was like, I've actually been through this process and it has actually helped my knowledge. So remember, you can have this general goal or general direction of where you want to go, but if something was to happen, it probably was meant to happen on the way and not actually in your way to where you eventually want to be at. For example, the pharmacy thing has built my character and built my knowledge up to become a better doctor that I can be today. And then last but not the least, if you actually still struggle a lot, despite trying a lot of methods, despite reaching out for help, and you're still struggling a lot, make sure this final method is actually seeking professional help. Go to your GP or your family doctor or even clinical psychologist. All of these people can help as well. Reach out to people who you trust, who you can talk to. They can also guide you to seek professional help if you need it. So we've done a lot of scribbling throughout the session. I know my handwriting definitely isn't the best, so we've created a typed up version for you. Link in the description below. Make sure to share it with your friends if you think that this can benefit them as well to improve their test anxiety. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the last one next time.